Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
You're watching All-Star 15 TV. To bring you all the action from Derby, Connecticut, here is AJ Capone.
Hello everybody and welcome to All-Star 15 TV broadcast tonight. It is our Monday night show. The Pony Express Open Wheel for amateurs. We're here at Phillip Island tonight. Qualifying has just started. You're looking at Alexander Hammond. But while he gets up to speed and goes actually right into the kitty litter, we're going to take you to today's show. We're all the way in Australia for cows, in the city of cows. Probably saying that wrong. It is 66 degrees with a humidity of 50. Gonna have some clouds out there. Gonna cool down the racetrack just a bit. I'm not really too worried about the wind. It's sitting at 2 miles an hour. Track length is 2.74 miles with a track temperature ranging around that 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are right on the water for this 12-turn race course. It's going to be a lot of fun. If this is your first time watching the Pony Express Open Wheel 4 Amp, this is how they do it. They have two featured events. First feature lasts about 20 minutes, and the second feature is 30 minutes. But going into that second feature, we convert the whole field up to 10 drivers. You win the first feature, you're going to start 10th in the second feature, or how many drivers there are. All for here tonight. Monday nights are one of my favorite nights of the week just for this reason. So watching Alexander, he went off track. That first lap did count. Currently from Phillip, closer of a view. Who else we have? Tyler Langenberg. He's currently fastest sector. Out of speed. Turn. The terrain on this 2.74 mile track, a lot of ups and downs with a lot of turning within those ups. He's passing pit entrance, going into turn number 12 and heading back towards the line. Let's see where he ends up going. Just put a time of, he will go P1 at a 1:30.19, 4/10 faster than Brad McCombs. Staying up. Lap time. And Sheriff Mark Dillon goes P2. Jump on Paul Boyle. He's currently up there that hasn't collected a time yet. First, this is his only shot to post a just 2 turns. Come down the hill at us. Now he's got 2 turns. Hit entrance on his left. Turn number 12. See what he does. Grip on the right side. That's all fair. Cool. Alexander Hammonds will go P1. Paul Boyle will go to the 4th position. Pretty close together, all within the 130s. Just 7/10 separating Alexander Hammonds. So with 4.5 minutes to go in qualifying, looks like our pole sitter is going to be Alex. Still watching Paul Boyle just run some laps, get a little more. Should be very interesting. About a minute and a half, a lap here. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do in feature number. Like every feature number 2, they have to pit at least once. But last week, at Summit Point, it looked like everybody was gonna have to pit, but Sheriff Mark Dillon says, I'm saving enough fuel, and he ends up making it by just a couple tenths over Tyler Langenberg. So before we get going, we'll pop up the Nerds check them out every Friday wherever you get your podcasts. This week's episode is going to be the Star Wars original trilogy, so check out their open right here.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
All right, all that pretty much did was eat up about 30 seconds, so looking at about 2 more minutes. Still watching Paul Boyle just run laps, having something show up on screen. So before we get going tonight, everybody go grab a drink, use the bathroom, because it's going to be one heck of a show here at Phillip's Island, all the way on the island of Australia. Continent, its own continent. But once again, thank you all for being here. Very much appreciate it. So, for all the people watching out there in YouTube land, how are y'all doing? I hope all of you had a very nice and safe Monday. But with just a minute left in qualifying, once we get the final word, we will send it to you, our starting lineup for this evening's first feature event. All right, there it is. Here is your starting lineup for feature number 1. Alexander Hammonds in the 126 Ford F4 vehicle is going to start P1 tonight. Second place, it is Tyler Langenberg out of Florida. Sheriff Mark Dillon out of Michigan going to start in that 3rd position. Paul Boyle is going to start in 4th in that 14 Pony Express machine. Zachary Nurnberger, also out of Michigan, in that 32 teal F4 car, going to start 5th. 6 goes to Brad McCombs out of New York. Zach Purcell in the 51 out of the Midwest region. And Dustin Bass in 8th, and shotgun on the field, it is Richard Hurst. That is your starting lineup for feature number 1. Remember, 20 minutes, and we will get ready for feature number 2. But how we set that field is still yet to be determined. All right, we are rolling. We're pacing once that pace car, that Porsche pace car hits pit road, we are going to iron around Phillip's Island. Before we go green, you are watching the Pony Express Open Wheel for Amateurs. here on All Star 15 TV. Thank you all for joining me here tonight. Hit that like button, subscribe to All Star 15. A couple more turns to go before that pit car dives down pit road and get to going here tonight. Alexander Hammonds is gonna lead the field to the green flag. Who's everybody's pick to win here tonight? Very curious to see what y'all say. Here we go. Pace car to pit road. It is time. Getting all queued up, close together. A little bit of gap separating Hammonds and Langenberg. And we are for it. Green is in the air, and we are away. Everybody single file heading towards the first turn. We'll get a couple laps in and we'll do our normal on-car take you through the racetrack. Looks like we got some battling going back a little further with Zachary Nurnberger and Brad McCombs. Brad McCombs is one of the fastest drivers in practice, not having the best of qualifying. Here comes Nurnberger, putting a little pressure on Brad McCombs. As I say that, they're separating just a very slow corner here. Got really close together. That Paul Boyle and McCombs. McCombs wants that fourth position as well. Here he goes towards the inside. Gonna use just a tad of side draft. Looks like he's gonna have the position going into turn one. Very good move by the driver of the number 23, Brad McCombs. But look at Paul Boyle now, battling with Zachary Nurnberger. Up front, it is Hammonds, followed by Langenberg, just about a half a second behind. Still a great battle here for this fourth position. Fifth position. They just keep bunny hopping each other. Paul Boyle to the back wing of the 32 of Nurnberger. Really putting on a show as there's a little bit of separation there. Hammonds extending the gap to almost a second. Just 3 minutes in. So here we go. We're going to jump on board with the driver of the 126, Alexander Hammonds. He's going to go right into turn number 100. Going to do the lap around. Bye-bye. All right, everybody, and that was one lap around Phillip Island in this 2.74 mile racetrack. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Looks like we have a heck of a battle for that fourth position. Zachary Nürnberger and Paul Boyle still going at it back here. We're watching this very tightly. It looks like Brad McCombs with an issue, along with Richard Hurst and Zach Purcell. We're going to actually see Richard Hurst first. See what happens to this 048 vehicle. Looks like he's, a little too hot. Does he hit anything? Oh, does he have to jump the pit road? Oh, looks like he's got some wheel damage. Yeah, he's going to have to jump the pit road. Let's jump to Zach Purcell now. What happened to the 51? Same thing, a little too hot. Oh, but he clips the outside grass and spins it. No damage. Just loses a couple positions and maybe flat spotting the tire just bad. And now Brad McCombs. He was very fast. Now currently sitting in that 7th position. But let's see what happens here, because he was on the ahead of same spot as Purcell. But he gets going right away. Just about 7 seconds of off-track time. But he's dropped all the way to the 7th position while he was battling with Nürnberger and Boyle. Well, let's go back here. Big battle between the 14 and 32. Man, they keep leapfrogging this whole time. It is so entertaining to watch. Still side by side. Very slow through these corners. But then you really start picking up the pace as we get a couple long straightaways. Paul Boyle currently in that 4th position. They just keep flip-flopping this whole time. Something is going to have to give. But as they're coming through turn 11 to turn 12, looks like that gap is just getting a little bit bigger now. There's Zach Purcell running a pretty good race after that spin. We're almost halfway through feature number 1. Thank you all for joining me on All-Star 15 TV. Purcell on pit road. Interesting. Maybe they aren't going to make it on fuel and he just tops off. We're going to go up front and run you through the field. Your first place driver of the 126 Ford, Alexander Hammonds. Right behind him, Tyler Langenberg. Sheriff Mark Dillon. You know, they say three's a crowd, but 1, 2, 3 all under a half a second from each other. Currently sitting in 3rd. Paul Boyle in that 4th position. Dustin Vase sitting in 5th, up 3 spots. Good job on him. Brad McCombs in the 6th spot. 7th goes to Zach Purcell. 8th, just pitting, is Zach Nürnberger. And 9th, it is Richard Hurst. Going back up front because this is the battle I feel like we need to see. Sheriff Mark Dillon hitting pit road. Not being able to save it this time. Big battle up front between both juggernauts Hammond and Langenberg. Fastest lap time of the race actually goes to our race leader, Alexander Hammonds, at a 1 minute 29.96. Nose to tail between both of these drivers as they're getting into the little technical portion of this racetrack. Ten minutes remain. And this is a great battle up front here. Looking through the field, seeing if we have anything that matches up to it, and we do not. I'm curious to see where everything plays out. Looks like Mark Dillon actually might have taken tires because he is all the way back to that 7th position. Both of them staying out again. Still putting down very fast laps. So I do not see them saving, so they might also have to pit. Brad McCombs has another issue on track. Go back and see what happened here. 32 looks like he's just a little too hot and locks up the brakes. No harm, no foul, no damage, but you're off track, and you're off track a while to lose a position to Zach Purcell there. And Sheriff Mark Dillon. And he's going to take it to pit road, so that might be a good idea. Ooh, Alexander Hammonds goes off-road for about 16 seconds. Well, let's see what caused that. Our first place driver is just going to lose the back end. Oh, and he's going to get into the kitty litter. He's got to keep it moving or he's going to get stuck. So difficult to drive in the sand. But once again, no damage. Going to be able to bounce back. But man, very unfortunate with that 126. Now it is all a Tyler Langenberg fight. But when does he come to pit road? If he has to come to pit road, as nobody challenging him for position anymore, so he can start laying off the gas, maybe not running as hard and saving some fuel. So far we've had Dillon, Nürnberger, and McCombs all come to pit road. But your leader, Tyler Langenberg, is staying out, kicking some major butt, very consistent laps every single time. Right behind him is Paul Boyle, just about 7.5 seconds. And then behind Paul Boyle, about 5 seconds, it is Dustin Vase. But here comes the hard-charging Alexander Hammonds, closing in on Vase to try to get at least one more position back. This is going to be interesting to watch soon. But got to think about how he flat spotted those tires going into the kitty litter just about a lap and a half ago. Closing in on each other very much. Down to 1.7 seconds. See how strong that 126 F4 vehicle is. But going back up towards the front, Langenberg has opened up almost a 8.5 second lead over Paul Boyle. 6 minutes to go. Ooh, Brad McCombs having another issue. Let's see what happened with that 23. I think he had the same issue here before. He does. He's just going to loop it around. Almost saved it. But easy easy back on, and he is going in the right direction again. No harm, no foul. Just a little bit of a flat spot on those tires. Let's go back to Dustin and Hammonds. That gap is closing to just about 0.3 seconds with 5 minutes remaining in feature number 1. There goes the pass coming out of the final turn. Let's see if any of these top 3 drivers, top 4 drivers are going to need to pit. Yet to be seen. Hammond's extending that lead ever so slightly. Just about a second and a quarter over Dustin in less than a lap. Dustin Vase. Coming to the end of feature number 1. A jump to Langenberg. What he's going to end up doing in the final, 3 laps. About a second and a half a lap with 3:20 left to go. Crosses the line. You're looking at about this lap, the next lap, and getting the white flag as he's coming to that 3rd lap because time is going to run out in the middle of that 2nd lap. You know, he could try to slow up just a little bit to try to manipulate it. That would be interesting. We haven't seen that yet. But he has a good 8.5 second lead. All he has to do is just take it easy, and he will win feature number 1. Fastest vehicle on the racetrack was Alexander Hammonds by a good 2/10. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch Paul Boyle, but he has rebounded just a little bit after passing Zach Purcell and Dustin Vase. Coming out of the final turn, he's going to take the 2 to go. As you can see, Barney's just sitting there holding the green flag. Ooh, Paul Boyle has to hit pit road. So does Dustin Vase. Let's see, can these 2 leaders stick it out for another 2 laps? Hammonds is going to make the pass for 2nd. And Mark Dillon's going to come all the way to 3rd. See if any of these drivers are going to pit coming to the white flag. Very curious to see what ends up happening here. Langenberg has an 18.5 second lead over Alexander Hammonds. And is still pulling away very much. Oh, he is going to come to pit road on this white flag lap. Right, I'm curious to see where these two are going to come together. Langenberg is going to hit his pit box. What's Hammond going to... He's going to stay out. Langenberg is blinking a little bit. He's going to come out with the lead, but 3 seconds back. Uh-oh. Dylan charging hard up to second place. Under a second. Closing in very fast. But both have enough fuel. Hammond's falling. Might even lose third place. There goes Paul Boyle. Hammonds might be out of fuel. Coming back up front, only about just over a half a second separating both drivers. Sheriff Mark Dillon able to make it stick under 3/10. Usually when you clip that grass, you're going to go for a ride. Just a couple turns remaining. Sheriff Mark Dillon driving the wheels off of that F4 car. Does he have anything for the 91? Through turn 11 into turn 12. Coming to the checkered flag. Made it a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Tyler Langenberg wins feature number 1, followed by Sheriff Mark Dillon. Paul Boyle comes across the line to finish 3rd. 4th, Zachary Nuremberger. 5th, Dustin Vase. Zach Purcell going to be in 6th. 7th is going to go to Brad McCombs when he gets around. Alexander Hammond's having to jump to pit road from running out. He goes, he's going to cross the line. And the results are final. Tyler Langenberg is going to win feature number 1, followed by a hard-charging Sheriff Mark Dillon. 3rd goes to Paul Boyle. 4th is Zachary Nuremberger. 5th, Dustin Vase. 6th to Zach Purcell. 7th to Brad McCombs. 8th to Alexander Hammonds. And Richard Hurst, shotgun on the field. And our pole sitter for feature number 2, Richard Hurst. All right, we got a quick warm-up. We're going to send you to the open of the Indian Tea podcast once again. I need to grab a drink, but I will be right back. You guys should do the same. Stay hydrated. It's been very hot out there.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
All right, we are under a warm-up. I don't think anybody has taken the track, but I am very excited for feature number 2. 30 minutes of very high-speed action. Hope you all are honestly having a great Monday. But after the broadcast tonight, we have about 45, half hour to 45 minutes before we're back here on All Star 15 for the Extreme Forces Racing League. They're at Nashville Super Speedway. All right, we are gridding. It is time. Grid for number 2. Richard Hurst, followed by Alexander Hammonds on the front row. Row 2, it is Brad McCombs and Zach Purcell. Row number 3, Justin Vase, Zachary Nuremberger. Row number 4, Paul Boyle, Sheriff Dillon. Shotgun on the field, our feature number 1 winner, Tyler Langenberg. Everybody hit. Ding, ding, ding. The following contest is scheduled for a 30 feature event. We're here at Phillip, number Tyler Langen. Let's see if he can make it through a field and win feature number 2 as well with the overall win. Taking a long lap around here, Road America. Very long road course. It's only 2.74. Feels like an eternity to pace under. No, Alexander Hammonds is very fast. He's starting to go green. We're gonna drop of Alexander Hammonds. Actually, we can go do that. Full bar camp. Change the names to it just a tad because I had no clue which one it was for a second. All right. Just a little bit further to go. And we will be under that green flag condition for the first time in feature number 2. Remember, 30 minutes will conclude tonight's event, and then we will see who the overall winner is. We're going to see how aggressive Alexander Hammonds is actually going to be on this start. Very fast. Was your pole sitter for feature number 1, but caught into an incident where he found himself in the kitty litter. Right, here we go. We're going to go quiet. You guys are going to watch a lap with Alexander Hammonds. Well, we knew he was going to be aggressive, and that's exactly what he was. Taking that first spot away, unfortunately, Hurst dropping all the way back to that 8th position. Brad McCombs just about a second back. Purcell just about a second and a half back from leader Alexander Hammonds. Langenberg already up to that 6th position. Him on your screen right there as an open track, trying to hunt down Zachary Nurnberger. Chat room is open for anybody watching. How are you doing tonight? Feature number 1's winner was Tyler Langenberg, starting shotgun on this field. Feature 2 all the way up to that 5th position. Jump up front because Brad McCombs is closing in on Alexander Hammonds. The lead down to about 0.7 seconds to 0.6. Purcell and Nurnberger side by side as they're heading towards the right-hander turn 1. Berger carrying a little more speed. Look how close Langenberg closes in on Purcell. All braking there. But up front, Brad McCombs and Alexander Hammonds very close together. 2/10 separating both drivers. Sorry about that. Hit my Fanatec stuff for a second. Not what I wanted. Wanted to bring up OBS to make sure the volumes were good. Very close battle here. Just about a half a second now separating Hammonds and McCombs. But Langenberg and Nurnberger side by side. We saw this a lap ago. Wow. These 4 drivers, Langenberg, Nurnberger, Dillon, and Purcell side by side. All the way from 3rd to 6th. And now they even each other out. Get going. Lose a lot of time being side by side, and here goes Dillon for that number 4 position. Oh, he's gonna lock up his tires and go long. Gonna have to enter safely again. Has some marbles, some sand on those tires. Gonna need to kick those off. Very unfortunate. Was running very well. That drops him all the way back to that 7th position. Check on this battle up front again. Just 3.5 tenths separating both drivers. Ooh, he's popped the curb really good, Hammonds did. Very nice. Big separation there. 2.5. Here comes Langenberg closing in on McCombs for that 2nd spot. Drop it back just a little. I want to see and Langenberg. McCombs actually having the fastest Sector 2 time out of everybody on this race course right now here at Phillips Island. See the water in the background. Langenberg closing in just a tad every turn, it seems like. But Hammond still pulling away. We do know every driver is going to have to pit at least once here tonight in feature number 2. Probably looking to see around maybe halfway, the 15 or 16 minute mark, because we know going the full 20 in feature number 1 did not work well for anybody. And by anybody, I mean the leader, the 126 Ford machine of Alexander Hammond's. He ran out on the final lap. Threw a Hail Mary. If it would have worked, he would have gotten 3rd place. But it didn't, and he ended up with a position of 8. McCombs goes wide into the kitty litter. He's going to lose 2nd, lose 3rd, 4th, back down to 5th. Here comes Sheriff Mark Dillon to his left-handed side, 6th, 7th. Needs to get back on the racetrack because here comes Paul Boyle. Wow, he lost about 13.5 seconds. Here comes Paul Boyle to his outside, going to try to make that pass. Now we focus on Langenberg chasing down Hammonds. The gap is 3.65 seconds. For all the people watching, hit that like button, subscribe to All Star 15 TV. It very much helps out the channel completely. Also shows me a little bit of love. So appreciate everybody watching and tuning in. Hammond's extending that lead now. Doesn't look like anything is wrong with Langenberg. Just looks like Hammonds is just slightly faster through the technical portion of this racetrack. Gonna jump to both Zacks as they're battling for this 3rd position. Nürnberger and Purcell, nose to tail. There goes, there's the pass right there. Ooh, looked like there might have been a little contact. Seconds. I apologize. I had a little thing come up. Needed to check it out. All right, here we go. See it here. One loops it. The other one drives right into it. Nürnberger loops it. Purcell drives right into it. And now they get to both fight. Oh, God, there goes McCombs. He wanted the party, too, it looked like. They get the battle all over again. Zach Purcell on pit road. Might be cutting it a little close. Alexander Hammond's now having a 4-second lead over Tyler Langenberg. Big gaps throughout the whole field right now. With 18.5 minutes left. stick with us because we will talk to all three podium drivers at the conclusion of feature number 2. Brad McCombs not having a great night, unfortunately. Looks like to be taking it to the hauler for the evening. Very unfortunate. But Langenberg not really closing in that much on Alexander Hammonds. Saw a couple thousandths to a tenth right there, but it just stays right around that 4 seconds mark. If I was Hammonds, you know you can't make it to the end. Push, push, push. Go as hard as you can. You know, extend that gap. But be cautious while you're doing it. We saw him have an issue in feature number 1. Pretty much do not replicate that. Putting down another screamer of a lap. Extending the lead by, looks like, 8 tenths for the time being. He does have the fastest lap of the second featured event by, it looks like, a good 2 tenths. Usually you see fastest lap times a lot closer than that. Mark Dillon hitting pit road. That last lap was a 129.99. Almost a second faster than Tyler Langenberg in second. Very strong lap. Still consistently pulling away by a couple tenths a lap over Tyler Langenberg. Just needs to stay consistent, hit your marks on the racetrack, and it looks like we might see that 126 Ford F4 vehicle in victory lane for our second featured event. Both drivers a little more even this lap. When do we see them hit pit road? Might see them try to run as far out as possible. Hammonds is going to stay out another lap. Let's see what Langenberg does. Langenberg. Justin Vase has a little time to catch up on, and he going to come to pit road? No, he is also going to stay out. Check pit strategy to see what has everybody done. Looks like Boyle, Purcell, Nürnberger, and Hurst all have taken that pit stop. Ooh, so has Sheriff Mark Dillon, now putting that 1 lap on the board. Everybody but our top 3 has pit so far. As Hammonds, Langenberg, and Vase all on lap number 10. Langenberg actually faster this lap time. Just about over a tenth. But it looks like Hammonds just took it all right back by force there. Wow. So we're actually going to go do a quick crank it up. We're going to watch a couple laps from Our race leader in the field as Langenberg is going to hit pit road. Let's do a quick crank it up. We are back, everybody. You saw a lot happen in that crank it up session. We are under 10 minutes to go. Thanks for tuning in tonight on All Star 15 TV for the open wheel for amateurs. Pony Express watching this battle. Just a second and a quarter separating Langenberg and Alexander Hammonds. But you saw a lot of issues with some drivers on that crank it up. Zachary Nurnberger being one of them, going off track twice in a matter of just about 30 seconds and losing a good minute because of it. Langenberg is still pulling away. It looks like Sector 2 is all for Langenberg. For Hammonds. We will see how both these drivers compare to their tires wearing off completely, because they only took fuel. They only took the amount of gallons needed for the rest of the time. But that last lap, they almost broke even. We'll see what happens here. Hammond's good through Sector 1. Trying to maneuver through Sector 2. Wow, Langenberg's really stretching that out here. Now it looks like they're fighting back to even. Sector 2 goes to Hammonds as well. Looking at about a 1/10 of gain in favor of that 126 Ford F4 car, sitting in second place. Just under 7 minutes remain. Looks like Hammonds might have given a lot of it back in Sector 3. They break even for this lap. Going to be interesting with 6.5 minutes remaining. Who will be your feature number 2 winner? The majority of the race, it has been all Alexander Hammonds, but he has an issue there. Flips a lot of the grass, losing just about a second. Here comes Sheriff Mark Dillon. Sheriff Mark Dillon just about a second and a half behind Alexander Hammonds. But it looks like we might see a battle brewing between Zach Purcell and Dustin Vase heating up. Dustin Vase closing in on the back bumper of the 51 on your screen right there. Closing in pretty good. Less than a second. Now it's up to a second. We're going to go back up front. It looks like Tyler Langenberg pulling still from Alexander Hammonds. Lead is up to 2.65. Don't think Hammonds can get to Langenberg with just 2.5 minutes remain. Like if Hammonds, I hope he doesn't overdrive it. He has done it a couple times in the past, trying to get too much out of it, but Langenberg just setting sail. Langenberg still blinking just a little bit. Looking through the field to see if we have any battles going on. No, we do not. Only reason why I don't have it on Tyler Langenberg is when he blinks out. The stream kind of goes a little cuckoo until he comes back. White flag in the air. 4 seconds separating Langenberg and Alexander Hammond. See if we can get a full. There's that 4-second gap. Sheriff Mark Dillon in third, 3 seconds back from Hammonds. Just a couple turns to go, and Tyler Langenberg will sweep the event today here at Phillip Island. As he celebrates crossing the line. Alexander Hammond's going to come home P2. P3 will go to Sheriff Mark Dillon. Once everybody crosses the line, we will give you the final result. Just short, 2 drivers from completing the lap, and we will give you the results momentarily. We'll also be talking to hopefully Langenberg, Hammonds, and Dillon. Here are the results. Langenberg with the overall win tonight. Sure, that's the heat. But he does win this feature. Langenberg wins with over a 3.7. There he is. 3.7 second over Alexander Hammond. Sheriff Mark Dillon in third. Fourth goes to Paul Boyle. Fifth, Zach Purcell. Dustin Vase in sixth. Seventh, Zachary Nurnberger. Eighth, Richard Hurst. And Brad McCombs in ninth. So let's see if we can get a hold of some of our top. Check it out. If we could talk to Sheriff Mark Dillon first. Mark Dillon, AJ Capola in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy, pal?
Yeah, man, what's up?
Hey, what a darn good race. Very good race. First time I've ever seen Phillip Island. I had it completely confused with the Melbourne F1 track, but that's my bad. But you guys put on one hell of a show. Talk about the race course. Did the elevation change really make the F4 car feel a little squirrely at times?
No, not for me. The biggest thing that I've noticed with these cars compared to the F3 cars that we ran before, these cars you really got to brake in a straight line. You can't really do any trail braking or be turning at all, and so that's what makes turn 2 tough for some people. But what actually got me tonight was just that hairpin turn 3. I just went in there in that second moto. I think I just within the first couple laps moved from 8th up to 5th or whatever, and then I went into that hairpin and just locked them up and had to go straight and turn it around through the grass. And luckily, I didn't hit anybody or hit anything, and it all worked out in the end. But
Yeah, you were strong in both of come home third in the second feature event. Trying to find. We go to Winton next week. How different are both tracks between tonight and there next week?
I believe Winton is much smaller. It's a V8 supercar track. I think I've only seen the first 2 corners of it. I've never done a lap there. But I believe it's much smaller and probably narrower. But that's what we like to run with these open wheel cars, so it should be good.
Yeah, that's like me on any road course. I usually see the first 2 turns and then I'm off, crashed or destroyed by then. You guys put on another hell of a show. Very excited every Monday night to come home and broadcast. You guys do not disappoint whatsoever.
Well, we appreciate it and glad you could do the broadcast.
All right, Sheriff Mark Dillon, I know you have another race to go, so good luck with that, and you have a wonderful night.
All right, thanks.
All right, we're going to talk to our race winner, the overall winner. It is Tyler Langenberg. Tyler, what's going on, pal? Pretty much a dominant night for you. Talk about it. How was this course and how'd you fare?
I like driving this track. Pretty good, pretty fast track. Like I said last week. Race 1 was a fuel race. See who could do the best at that. Might have to look into changing the fuel number. That's just me, but in my opinion, it was a great race. Great finish with Mark there right at the end. It's coming off pit road. Race 2. Yeah, that was a tight race. Race 2. I just made less mistakes than everyone else did. That's really story of my race 2.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you really need to do. And you were coming from shotgun on the field since you won feature number 1, but seemed like a lot of it had to do with, you being consistent and strategy. You ended up coming out in front of Alexander Hammonds, who had a couple issues with both races, going off track in one and little tiny off track in the second one, allowing you to get around him. But once you did that, you completely set sail. We go to Winton next week. What can you bring from Phillip Island and take it over to Winton?
I think really the only thing you can bring from here to Winton is the speed, because Winton has fast corners into chicanes, or chicanes coming out of fast corners. So yeah, it's a nice. I've tried it since the build release. It's a pretty good track. I haven't tried it with the F4 just yet.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's another track that I've never been to. Don't know what to expect. But other than that,
I will say that track is great to race the GT cars on.
oh, okay.
And another car. I don't remember which one it was, but it's a great track.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I look forward to my Monday nights because you guys always put on a show, and it beats, playing on my phone for 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
All right, brother. Well, congratulations on another victory here in the open wheel for amateurs. We're going to let you go and can't wait to see you next Monday at Winton.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Y'all have been fantastic. Y'all stay safe. Stay fun. If you got time, check out the Extreme Forces Racing League. In just about a half hour, we are going green. So, with that being said, y'all have a fun night. Stay safe, stay cool, stay classy, stay hydrated. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.